Hello all, hopefully you can hear me and see me. My internet has been a little sketchy today because of the weather, so here's hoping you can see me, hear me. I have decided, because we are now getting into our winter months, and today was the first big snow. I know we had snow a few weeks ago, but this one was a little bit more frosty and more Canadian snow day. Anyways, so I felt like doing snow techniques, which I thought of this long time ago, but I wasn't going to do snow techniques when it was still summery weather outside. So anyways, I'm going to do a series of them in the next few weeks. So on Tuesdays, I'm going to do different ways of adding snow or using snow in your projects. Not using snow, but adding snow to your projects to make it look like snow in different ways. So today, hi Jane. So this week I'm going to do designer series paper. So we have tons of designer series paper in our books, and you can use, sometimes I have used other designer series paper that have nothing to do with Christmas for cards, because they've had little dots. So little white dots on the cards, on the card, the designer piece series paper can make it look like snow. So the one I'm going to use from our catalog, so this is our mini catalog, and the snow, what we're going to use today is designer series paper from the Feels Like Frost. So that is on page 42. And that is right there, and hopefully you can see that. I know my camera's a little blurry and I had to move it around earlier, so let's see if we can get that a little bit clearer. Anyway, so it's beautiful. So I'm going to show you a few sheets of it before we get started. And these are the ones I will use for different snow type projects. They have tons of different designs, but some are a little bit more snow-based, I would say. So this one is one of the papers that I've used a lot. It's really pretty, and it's like more like a sunrise kind of snow. There's this one with a little bit of snow on branches, a little pine cone, snow on little flowers, and if I could remember what that's called. I can't remember what it's called right now. And here's another one with snow on little branches. They're like little flowers. There's one with a tree. So I always usually do it like this and then have maybe an ornament hanging from it. These are two other sheets. Oops. Sorry about that. There's that one. And there's that one. And you'll notice I'm wearing this fuzzy sweater because it's freezing in my apartment tonight. This was the fuzzy sweater that I bought in Florida. It's the most fluffiest sweater you've ever felt in your life. And I don't know who buys this type of sweater in Florida because it's so hot and it keeps you so warm in the winter. But I thought it was good for my snow class tonight because this is what I wear when it snows. Anyway, so let's get started on our card. So the card I'm going to show you tonight is this one here. The only thing I'm going to change on it, so that's that one there. The only thing I'm going to change on it is I'm going to do it this way instead. So I've just changed the axis of it. So instead of having it up and down, I'm going to do it horizontal. I'll do it vertical. And no, that's horizontal. I did it vertical. So anyways, we're going to do it that way. So I'm going to bring you down here. And hopefully we get okay lighting in here tonight. It's pretty dark outside. It should be okay. So let me just make sure I have a little more light. There we go. That should add a little bit more light to the situation so we can see what I'm doing here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take our designer series paper. So the designer series paper is a specialty paper because it has this gold, or not gold, that's silver, silver on the back, so silver and white. But it does have really pretty, so I've used both sides for my projects. So what we're going to do first is just take a plain piece of white paper, white cardstock, and you're just going to stamp with Memento, just to get a good black outline. Memento is also good for using with Stampin' Blend, so that's what I'm going to use to color my little guy in. So we're just going to stamp him down. Make sure he's all covered. So he'll look like that. And he's going to get cut out. So we do have, so I'll show you the stamps that we're using. We're actually going to use 2 stamp sets tonight. So this one is called Friesen Fun. And it does come with framelets, or dies, dies that will cut out each of those little characters. And we're also going to use, just because I love this set, we're going to use the Merry Christmas on the top. But the Let It Snow one on the top I use on a lot of my cards because these are a little bit bigger. They're not such tiny sayings that you can't see on the cards. They're a little bit bigger of a saying. So we're going to use those tonight. Alrighty, so I'm going to start with coloring him in after the Memento is stamped on. So first what we're going to do is take our light, not Rococo Rose, I grabbed the wrong one. So we're going to grab our light Flirty Flamingo. So my light Flirty Flamingo I always use for cheeks. So I'm just going to color in, I should use the small side. It's best to use the small side, and then color in his little nose and color in his little cheek. And then color in the inside of his or her ears. Just give it a little bit of color. The next part we're going to do is we're going to color in, so I'm just going to make sure this is light enough. Just because some of our colors are kind of dark, so we don't want it too dark. But I want the color to go, this color of the scarf, to go with the color of the background. So this color is Dark Seaside Spray. And the light Seaside Spray is really nice, but it's so light that it's hard to see. And then we're going to color in the, so this one's really hard because it's just such a little tiny band around its arm to show the skis. And we're just going to color in the ski. And then we're going to take our light Misty Moonlight, and we're just going to color in the bottom of the sleigh, not the sleigh, the bottom of the skis. The other one's the sleigh, so this one does have skis and it has a sleigh. It has a little, has other little tiny critters in it. And remember not to color over his fluffy tail there. And then you can do the little grips on his feet that are holding him on the skis. And I've missed a little bit here. There's another side of the ski, so we want to use the little side. With any of these little tiny pictures, you want to use the smaller side. And then we're going to use, so it's between light smoky slate and light gray granite. And I'm pretty sure I used gray granite before, and I want to make them a little bit lighter. So hopefully this will work. Yeah, this one will work. So we wanted to make them a little bit lighter. The gray granite. So this is the smoky slate. The smoky slate is a little bit lighter. The gray granite is a little bit darker of a tone. And it's a little bit more brown. So I wanted to make him a gray bunny that fits in with the colors. And then you're just going to color over his cheeks. So not to make them so pink, but you're not going to color over its nose. You're still going to keep that showing through. But you'll color over the cheeks and the ears because it will make it lighter. And then it will blend in a little bit better. And you can make his little fluffy tail a color, or you can leave it white. And I'm going to leave it white this time just to make it a little bit different. And we're just going to make sure that we caught everything there. So that's what he looks like when he's all colored in. And so now we're going to take our so at our convention, one of the girls that is from the Stampin' Up business, she calls this the Big Boss. So this is our new Stamp and Emboss machine, and it's got a lot of words to it. So anyways, I'm just going to call it the Big Boss because that makes more sense to me, and it's easier to call it that than go through all of those words. And we're just going to move everything from underneath so this does stay flat. Alrighty, so we're going to start on this side and we're going to put it through. And hopefully I didn't. Sometimes I move my, there we go, the die in the wrong. So I'm just going to move that over so you can see what I'm doing here. So I don't have a magnetic plate as of yet. I haven't bought it as of yet for this guy, just because I haven't had the need for it. So it lines up really well. So if you can see it there, it lines up really well. And we're just going to, so it tells you what numbers to put in, and it says it right on the platform here. So it tells you to put 1, 2, and then 2 3s. So that you kind of sandwich it together, but you follow the numbers to sandwich it together. And I'll just show you how great our die cuts are now. So the die cuts are so close to that it's almost right on top of it. So it's almost cutting it out without a big outline. So I love these. The old ones we were using were really, left a really gigantic outline. So it just looked a little bit more not realistic. And I love these new dies. They're the greatest. Alrighty, so now that we got that done, I can put the Big Boss on the floor. And then we can start stamping and then putting our card together. So that's how easy that card is. So you can put this guy anywhere you want. I was trying to get him on a slope. And then we're going to stamp in with Night of Navy, because that's the background of this card is Night of Navy. And sorry that's popping up there. I'm just going to take it off there so you can see what I'm doing. Now my Night of Navy is an old pad, so I've re-inked it a few times just to get a nice dark tone in the middle. And this one always, the stamp always comes up so clear. but this has snow all around it, so you don't have to add snow to it. The snow is on the ground, the snow is on the trees, the snow is falling all over the place. So then we're going to take this little guy, and I did have dimensionals here, but I'm not sure where they've gone to. You never know in my place. I don't know if everybody has that, but sometimes things just walk away. And I know nobody's put them anywhere because I'm the only one living here, so unless one of my birds took off with it. And they haven't done that as of yet, so I'm just going to put him right there, just because it looks like he's on a slope. So right there. And then we're just going to glue that onto the Night of Navy background. Here's hoping my glue is close by, because on the weekend I did a card class and I ran out of glue this time. Usually it's my class that runs out of glue, but this time I ran out of glue and I didn't have any refills, which is very strange for me. I don't think I've ever done that in my 8 years of being a demonstrator. I don't think I've ever ran out of glue. I always have glue. And I prefer the, like right here I'm using the fast fuse, which we don't have anymore. So I'm having to go into using the new glues. But of course, if you don't have any, how are you supposed to use them? Anyways, that's the end of our card. So that's a way of using, thanks Jane, that's a way of using designer series paper to add snow to your card. So there's nothing else you have to do with that card. It's an easy card to do. Hi Irma. It's an easy card to do, and it's simple and it doesn't take very long to make. That took me about 15 minutes to make, and then I showed you a whole bunch of other things also. So say 10 minutes to make that card. So it's an easy card to make. It's cute. It uses your designer series paper. There's not a lot of stamping. There's not a lot of putting together. So if you wanted to make 50 of them, it wouldn't take you too long to make them all. Anyways, I just wanted to show that. And next week I'm going to do another Christmas technique. Or well, Christmas. Another snow technique. So, and then I'll be back on Friday to do a card. And I'm going to probably stick to wintry, Christmassy cards. Just because my mom was pretty upset that on my my Pinterest that she went to look at all my videos, and I don't have any Christmas cards up there yet. So she was pretty upset by that because she needs Christmas card ideas because she's making tons of them. So I've been suggested by her to start making more Christmas cards and showing her different techniques and showing her different cards. So that's what I'll be doing for the next, until probably December I think it was see when my last one. I'm probably going to do Tuesday techniques up to December the 15th. And then from there, I'll take a break from doing videos just over the holiday season, just so people can have a break and don't have to be watching me on certain nights. But until December 15th, I'll be doing snow techniques and Christmas cards for everybody. Anyways, thanks for joining me, and hopefully I will see you on Friday, and have a great night. Thank you. Bye.